Entrepreneur Sessions, the podcast.
The Entrepreneur Sessions, the podcast. I'm Jennifer, one of your hosts, and this is Mora, the other host. And welcome to Entrepreneur Sessions, like we said. Sorry, I was on mute. We're really excited because we have we have actually two great guests today. They're the founders of Roseberry Media. It's a digital agency based out of Atlanta, Georgia. And in this company, they help brands grow their sales and their social media presence. So without further ado, we want to welcome Maria and Monica.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Hey, so first of all, we have to acknowledge these mannequins in the background. You know, we always got the entrepreneur one, but we got a special guest mannequin in the building today, so we don't want to be rude.
Yes. She is wearing her best dress today.
We love it. We love it. Represent her brand.
Yes.
All right. So, Mara, you want to get it jumping?
Cool. Yeah. So thank you again, ladies, for being on board today. I really appreciate it. And so the first question I want to ask is, if you can name 3 people, dead or alive, that you can have dinner or lunch with, who would it be?
There are 3, right? Okay, dead or alive. Alive, probably RuPaul, because he's life. And I love the way that Ru expresses himself, or herself, just super fabulous. And I love just being your true self. The second person would probably be my dad, who passed away 4 years ago. He is my inspiration for everything in life. And if it wasn't for his existence, I wouldn't be who I am. And the third person, I don't know yet. So let Maria go.
That's okay.
For me, I think the first person would be Gary Vee. That's somebody I think since we started in the digital marketing space, we've looked up to, and I think you can gain so much information from him in just not even like in 2 seconds. He like fills you up with information. Sure. The second one, which is ironically, because Monica and I haven't even talked about this, but I thought of my sister. My sister passed away when I was very little, so I would love to like recommunicate with her. And the third one I think would be Kevin Hart, just because I crack at everything he says. So I think I would have the funniest dinner ever with him.
That's funny. That would be a fun dinner party for real. Seriously. So let's jump into it. What was the inspiration behind the creation of Roseberry Media Company?
So initially, when we started Roseberry Media, we weren't even Roseberry Media. We didn't have a name. And people were just like, hey, can you do marketing for us like you do with the current company you work for? We both worked at an agency that was centered around real estate marketing. And it eventually got to the point where we were like, okay, we should probably listen. And we started getting clients, which was like our sphere of influence. And we didn't have a name. They're like, so what's y'all's business name? And we were like, Monica and Maria marketing. Like we didn't know, we didn't have a name. And then one day we went to a coffee shop and we were like, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to bust it out. We're going to, just brain dump and think of ideas of how to create our name. And I'll let Maria take it from there because it's a fun one.
So I remember I think we were first going to do like mood media, and it was, and we just started like thinking. I was like, okay, let's try our name. So my last name is Romero, which in English is Roseberry, and Monica's last name is Mora, which in English is Blackberry. So I was like, let's just combine our last names in English. So that's where Roseberry came about.
Oh, I love it. And that worked out really cute. I love the name. So, okay, before we get into anything else, let's talk about partnerships, because how did you guys know that, first of all, that you should go into business together, or that you guys would have enough synergy to build a business and be aligned? Because that's a big thing that a lot of people struggle with. It's not that they don't have the talent, but sometimes it's like opposing ideas, and that's what kills the business. So how did you guys know that this would work?
Well, I'm a firm believer. It's a quote that I've read before, and it says, if you can laugh with someone, you can work with someone. And we were already working together. Maria handled all of the back end and marketing of the company, and I handled the business development and sales. So without marketing, you can't really sell a product, right? If there's not marketing, and you can't sell if there, vice versa. And, you know, partnerships aren't easy. You know, it's a marriage, and there's times where Maria and I don't agree on something, and there's times where we do agree on something. But if we agreed on every single thing, then we wouldn't have a real business. We would just be yes people. And I think it got to a point where we realized that we worked very well together, and we laughed a lot. And, you know, we were like, okay, like something's there, you know, and people kept coming to us, not going like to the owner or going, you know, to other people, or just like one of us. It was always the both of us. And we realized, well, at least I realized, I was like, okay, something's here, something's working there, right? So from my perspective, I think that's, you know, how our partnership flourished.
And I'm going to jump in because when we started working at the other agency, the first weekend we worked together, they roomed us in a hotel room together. That was literally how we met. They were like, you guys are rooming in for this conference. We had no idea who each other was. And we got along so well. It felt like I had known Monica my whole life, basically. So on, like, honestly, I feel like I've known her. I mean, we've only known each other a couple years, but I feel like I've known her, like she's part of my family, basically.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Beautiful. You guys were matched up, you know, fate by fate.
Yeah, people would always be like, so how long have y'all known each other? So when we first started Roseberry, we'd be like, like a year and a half. And they're like, what? We thought you've known each other since high school, or, you know, old time friends. And we were like, no, we just kind of meshed. And, you know, Maria and I have been through so much together. Next week will be 4 years that Roseberry's alive. And since we've known each other, it's been all like close to 6 now. So it's crazy, and we've gone through so much, and for what we feel is such little time, because it literally feels like yesterday that
to kind of get the word out.
Well, kind of like I said in the beginning, you know, we started this through our sphere of influence. So we believe that people do business with people, right? And it's not like a name that you're always doing business with. It's the person. And we actually started off by just telling people. Our first clients are the reason we started Roseberry, because they were like, hey, I need someone to do what you do for my business. Can you do it? And we were like, okay. So we didn't, does that make sense? So like literally they started it for us.
Right.
The demand was there before even the business was there. So that's what there was a catalyst for the business to be formed. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ironically, we didn't really start marketing ourselves till this year. It had all been word of mouth for the past 3 years. And it wasn't until this year that we were like, maybe we should do what we do for all of our clients. Like,
that's funny. I just had a conversation with somebody about that today. I was talking with a coach, and they were talking about how they create this plan for their clients, and their job is to help them scale. And they're like, and half the stuff I plan for my clients, I haven't even done for myself. So it's like sometimes you get so caught up, you know, actually doing the work that you don't have time to really focus. So that's cool that you guys were able to do that this year. Have y'all seen a difference with the marketing efforts that you put in this year versus the word of mouth, you know, methodology that you guys were using before, as far as business? Like, what changes have you seen?
yeah, well, that because of the pandemic, we had to take on. Before, we would do a lot of networking, social events. So that's where our business came about. But of course, with all the pandemic, it was difficult for us to even go out or meet anybody. So we had to take on the digital space. And we have seen a difference this month. Like, it kicked in out of nowhere. We got all these clients calls. We were like, wow, marketing truly does work. So really have gotten a ton of clients out of it. And about I think that the good thing is that we've gotten clients out of the state. Then before it was mainly people in Atlanta. Now people are realizing that we're everywhere because of our marketing efforts.
I love it. So I was gonna say, as far as your marketing strategies, is it a mix of like Facebook ads, or is it digital events? What are some things that you've done this season that has worked as far as you know, attracting those new out-of-state clients and different things like that?
Yeah. So, you know, we are huge on brand development and brand awareness. And just for ourselves, you know, we built our brand. Our original branding is very different than what it is now. And now, we've showcased our brand. We've made sure that we've been very consistent and, like Maria said, do what we do for our clients, for us. And let me know if I don't answer your question, because I tend to like go left.
Oh no, you're good.
So, we've realized that a lot of brand awareness has helped bring in those clients, and has helped our clients as well. Like Maria said, because of the pandemic, we're all home. Even if people are, slowly trickling out and living their day-to-day life, everyone's on their phone more than usual. And so, yeah, so brand awareness has helped a lot. And really, we help our clients with everything, just to like stick that in really quick, from brand awareness to web development to running ads on, Facebook, Instagram, and on Google as well, and videography and photography.
Chan, I think what's really helped us is that we have been consistent every single day, consistent on our Instagram, our Facebook, and we actually started doing a lot of videos, things that we didn't do before. We realized like we had so much knowledge that we hadn't put out into the world. Like we think that people know what we know, but then we realized like they don't really know what we're doing behind us. So we started doing a lot of videos, and yeah, consistency was huge.
That's awesome.
And then consistency, is it kind of like, do you have a certain style, like when it comes to video or when it comes to like web development, or is it pretty much custom built for each client?
It's custom built for each client. We truly believe in a brand DNA, and every client is completely different. So for us, it would be kind of lazy if we did the same type of template for each client when it came to videos or any posts that we do, or even the way that the company communicates. Everyone's different. You and I are different. We can tell by just like our backgrounds, right? The clothes that we wear, the way I have our hair. I didn't shave my head today. So like, everyone is different and every brand is different. So it's customized.
I love it. Okay, so we're going to get into the meat of what we came to talk about today, which was digital marketing. So what are some of the top mistakes that you see business owners make, both of you guys? Maybe Maria, if you want to jump it off, as far as when it comes to digital marketing strategies.
Yeah, of course. First one is not having a strategy at all. There's so many business owners that don't have a strategy, or we get so many people saying, oh yeah, I put on my calendar, I need to post today, I need to send out an email today, and they just don't execute because they're so busy running their business. As to why our motto is, we'll handle your marketing, you handle your business, because that's what you really have to focus on. And also going back to what I said, not being consistent and not being authentic. We always tell people like, show your true colors when it comes to marketing, show who you really are. You don't really want somebody to come into your store and see something online and then your store is completely different. So be consistent, be authentic, and actually have a strategy.
That's good. Monica, I know you got something.
No, I completely agree with everything that Maria just said. Yeah, consistent. The mistakes that we see is that clients aren't consistent, and they're posting like on Mother's Day, on 4th of July, on New Year's, and it's just very like sporadic, and they're just posting whenever.
Or we get a lot of things we see is that they try to do everything on their own, like they think they know what they're doing, so they take on and they end up spending money that they shouldn't spend because they weren't knowledgeable of what they were doing. So they end up wasting money and at the end not believing in marketing because they didn't do it the correct way.
And that actually ties into my next question is, what are some of the best practices that you would recommend business owners? Because a lot of people are going to be watching this video. They have all different facets of different business, maybe even at different levels. Some people just have an idea. Some people have already implemented. And some people might have gone with another company and have just the botched branding, and now they're looking to start over. So what are some of the practices that you would recommend business owners to follow?
Yeah. So it goes back to being consistent and building a very strong foundation and knowing exactly who your company is, the voice of your company. That goes hand in hand with branding. If you're not in love with your branding, then something's off. So if you are working with a client or, with a company that isn't listening to what you need and what you want for your business, some business owners are stubborn and they think that they know what's best for their business, but sometimes they just need to listen to their marketing team. And other times your marketing team needs to listen to you, right? So it's a yin to your yang. So building a strong foundation, one, creating a content calendar where you know exactly what you're going to be talking about on a weekly, monthly, daily basis, and sticking to that and making sure that you hire a team that is going to take your business serious, and just really, expressing who you guys are and being consistent. I mean, we cannot stress that enough. Be consistent, be authentic. You know your business better than anybody does. You wake up, you eat, breathe, and sleep your business, just like we do, right? So if you can find a team that's going to let you focus on your business and they're going to focus on your marketing, that's the best piece of advice that we can give.
I love it. And you guys, before I forget too, aren't you guys doing some kind of a digital challenge or something right now, right? Do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, we're doing a 15-day digital challenge. You can start whenever you want, and it's just 15 days. Every day you'll get an email for you to be on track, for you to start your social media. It starts from scratch if you don't have a strategy, and what you can do every day. And it just really makes you think, like, what am I going to post today? What am I going to talk about? What is it that my even platforms are about? Like, what is my messaging through the platform? So, and at the end of the challenge, of course, we offer a free consultation for anybody that has gone through a challenge with us.
I love it. So what's the, I guess we'll drop the URL later, but I know it's going to be on the website. And if you go to their Instagram, which is Roseberry Media, you can find more information about that challenge too. So sorry, that was a quick commercial break, but since we're talking about that, they do have an actionable plan on how to actually start a digital. So I wanted to throw that in there real quick. So Monica, can you walk us through like what an average day is like for you guys at Roseberry Media? How does your morning start? How does it end? What happens in between?
Yeah, absolutely. They say that the first thing that you shouldn't do is check your phone in the mornings. That's the first thing I do. I do everything I'm not supposed to do, right? When I say that we eat, breathe, and sleep our business, we truly do, because our clients are our priority. So we're what's it called? We're killing fires, or we're attacking fires. Yeah, all day, every day. And although, some people might say, well, that's not very productive. Well, the thing is, if we're not available to our clients, then they're just freaking out all the time, right? So on a daily basis, that's what we're doing. We're making sure that our clients' social profiles are up to par, that we're answering questions. Maria is checking ads all day, every day, making sure that things are running properly and smoothly. I mean, I call Maria the ad guru because she can see when things are running well, when they're not running well. I'm answering phone calls, talking to our clients, and we have an awesome team behind us. If it wasn't for our team, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So working as a team, making sure that we're working towards something for our clients and not just kind of like, oh, this looks cute, this might work. No, we're implementing the actual strategy that we created with them the month before.
We do a lot of Zoom calls. A lot of daily basis nowadays. We used to be, but it's a lot of Zoom calls. And I was telling Monica earlier, we don't really have an average day. Like, we don't know what our day is going to look like. Yeah, we have a calendar, but something might pop up and we have to take care of it and put everything else aside. And I think a lot of business owners are like that. You just don't really know. You don't have a routine because there's so many things, especially in the social media world. Like, things change from 1 minute to the next.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know anybody who follows the same routine every day. You wake up planning to do that, but it doesn't ever turn out like that. So that's cool. I had a quick question because I know you guys met at your, previous employer, and you guys had your designated roles in that company. When you guys came over to form Roseberry Media, did you naturally just take on the roles that you had at that company, or did you structure it a little differently? Like, what was that process?
That was our goal. Like, girl, I got this. I'll talk to the clients. And Maria's like, I got this. I'm going to handle all the ads. And then it just kind of like blurred.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Like, I turned into like the accounting person, and I'm like not good at numbers. And I'm like, why am I doing this? And Maria's like, well, I'm not doing, like things like that. And it's like, when you're a business owner, whether you have a business partner or not, you wear 7 million different hats. No matter if you're good at it or not, but you'll figure it out.
I love it. Mark?
And so one of my questions I have is, all right, so you meet a new potential client. What are some of the steps that you use to vet that client? Because I know not all clients are good clients, unfortunately, but how do you vet? How do your interview process, more or less?
You want to take that on?
Sure. We ask a lot of questions. Sometimes, clients think that they need us, which I think that everyone needs marketing, okay, no matter who it is. However, some clients aren't ready to have a marketing agency work with them because they don't have their foundation clear. And they might have a lot of internal messiness with their employees or how they handle their clients. Because we can do an awesome job doing your marketing, but if you don't have a system, where you're calling people consistently, right when the lead comes in, you're not following up, then it's just a recipe for disaster. So we ask a lot of questions. We make sure that they're ready. And the things that we ask are how long have you been in your industry? Where are you in your business? Are you, do you have a team? Are you alone in your business? And honestly, if someone says, listen, Monica, I just came up with this idea. Can you help me? Yeah, absolutely. We can work with you. It doesn't matter if you just came up with the idea or if you've been in the business for 50 years. We can definitely help you. We can work with you. But if you're not focused, if you're not ready, then if things don't work out, it's all of a sudden our fault. Does that make sense? So we always have to make sure that we're working with people that we can work with together. And it's not kind of like hey, have you done this? Or hey, what's going on? We want to make sure there's a team that we can create.
Monica, you brought up a really great point because people don't understand that if the business is not structured correctly operationally, then no amount of marketing is going to help. If you send in leads over, but they don't have a designated person to follow up with those leads or to execute whatever was promoted properly, it falls back and it looks bad on the organization. So that's true. All clients aren't good clients, or all clients aren't ready to be clients.
Yeah.
All clients aren't ready to be.
We learned that the hard way, like Maria said. We've never looked for clients up until now. It was always clients coming to us. And so we're like, yeah, of course. Yeah, saying yes all the time. And then we realized, wait, that's probably not the best practice for us. We should probably learn how to say no. And the first time we had to let go of a client, we were like, is this allowed? Can we do this? And then we realized, it is allowed because our time is very valuable. We care about our reputation as well.
Mm-hmm.
And
also your brand.
What'd you say?
Sorry, Maria. I just said it's your brand, so you can choose who your clients are. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Maria.
No, I was just going to say, also understanding that marketing is an investment. I think a lot of people think I'm going to get paid just to get leads right away. Like if you're definitely starting, but no, it's definitely an investment and that it takes time. It's not overnight that you're going to see a difference. Like we have to get people to understand that. And if you don't have a budget, because when you hire an agency, you're just not hiring us. You're hiring a whole team of people that are doing this work for you. And I think when you don't have a budget, that's when we rather teach you how to do it for now until you grow a little bit more. And then you can say, hey, I'm ready to hire a full-on agency. It's going to take it all on.
That's good.
So is there a specific niche of clients that you all look for, or is it a wide range? Because I know in Atlanta you have a lot of musicians who want to be promoted, but do you have a particular niche that you kind of hone in and focus on?
Well, we don't have a niche. When we first started, ironically, our niche, just because of referral basis, was construction companies. A lot of construction companies came to us. So we have a lot of experience in the construction field, but that doesn't mean that's our niche. We have taken on people from medical offices, beauty, also like health food stores to e-commerce. So we have experience in all different sides. Ironically, we got our first musician interview this week. We haven't had musicians, but they came about through us because they saw our Instagram. So we really take on anybody. Just like we said, we just vet them to make sure that they have that foundation correct.
I love that you asked that, because I'm like, actually, yeah, he's an artist, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully they hire us.
We'll be watching.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm sure that's going to be a lot more, especially being in Atlanta. It's coming. So, what's a risk that both of you have taken in your career? And I think I already know the answer to this, but I'll let you guys expound. What's a risk that you've taken in your career that initially it scared you, but later on it paid off and you're happy that you did it?
Yeah. Sorry, you go.
Definitely leaving the company that we worked for. I mean, leaving that job 4 years ago. We were 26. Both of us were 26 years old. Starting our own business at 26. It was, we never thought, I don't think either of us thought that we were going to start that business. So that was definitely a risk we took. And then also being as a business owner, you take many risks as you kind of have to lose certain friendships or like lose certain events at the beginning of your life because you're so busy and your business is your baby. Just like when you have a baby, that's your main focus. So risking that part of our life at the beginning. Right now, I think we finally stabilized it. We finally have a social life. We're able to enjoy our family. But at the beginning, it was a risk that we had to take. We couldn't attend maybe certain events or certain birthdays because our business was our priority.
Yeah, I mean, and that still happens, right? Like, there's still things that we have to say no to, and we, have to put our foot down, like kind of like to ourselves and be like, all right, Monica, like you can't go do that. Like you really need to finish this, and I was telling Maria earlier that, I think another risk that we take as entrepreneurs in general is listening and not listening to that little voice in your head. Because there's like, I tell Maria all the time, I'm like, I have like 5 different voices in my head. And, one voice is saying this, another one's saying that, another one's saying that, so even not listening to yourself or listening to yourself can be a risk that I feel like we take at times.
Yeah. I mean, there is times where you're like, I wish I had a 9 to 5. Like, I wish I could just get a salary and be done with it. But that's a risk that we're taking. And at the end of the day, it's like so satisfying. Like, now we're like, this is our baby. No, I don't want that.
Because it's hard to do your own business and all of a sudden try to go back to corporate, 9 to 5. It's like, it's when you got the bug, you got the bug. You just got to keep it going. So
it's so true. I think about like when I first graduated college and I started working, 9 to 5, and I remember being like, gosh, I felt so alone, and I felt like I was the only one wanting to work extra, and I felt like I was the only one wanting to do this, and I was like always mad, right? And I'm like, ew, like I don't want to go back to that, like ever, because now I can work hard, put in this extra time, but it's for us, it's for our baby,
Better gratification. There was one question that I think you all answered, but one of the questions that we had is, how important is digital marketing strategy as it relates to business?
It's super important. If you don't have a strategy in place, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. And if you're not online, you don't exist.
That's right.
We always teach people, like, let's look up on Google, for example. Look up, I don't know, a hairstylist near you. If you're not on Google, the first thing that somebody's looking up, you basically don't exist anymore. Like if you're not, for example, today we had a meeting with a therapist and he's never had a website. And I said, if they can't find you, you're not going to get business nowadays because that's the first place where people go, online. So that and social credibility, like if you have to have social platforms for people to find that you're a real person. Fortunately, that's what we've come to.
Wow. I love it. And I just think that I totally agree with everything both of you just said, because I was just thinking about platforms like Yelp, I know people feel different kind of ways about Yelp, but it's just something that even with a simple organic marketing strategy, like asking your customers that come in your store to leave a review, it raises your rankings. Because I read a case study a while back about a beauty salon that got like 90% of their business from their Yelp ads. Like people would Google and they were at the top. They weren't paying for ads or anything. It was just because they were so high ranking and they had great reviews. So just even little organic things that people can do that make it, a difference. So I agree with that. Yeah.
We have a roofing company, for example, who is just killing it on Google with reviews. And they're considered like babies in the roofing world here, but you wouldn't know that if you look at their digital platforms and you look at them on Google. You would think that they've been around forever. And they get asked all the time, are you a franchise? They're like, no. We're like literally it's 3 siblings that own the company, and all of them are less, are younger than 30 years old. So for them to have been able to build that because they're so consistent and they listen, thankfully, they listen to what we're saying, it's true. I mean, reviews are huge. Social proof is huge.
Yeah. And everything you just said. So that's good. Great points. Mario, I'm sorry. Were you going to say something?
Oh, no. I concur. And it kind of circles back to that consistency, staying consistent. Because I've seen a lot of different companies, they start off hard, marketing and pushing their brand, and then all of a sudden they disappear. And then they feel like, a year later they can pick back up from where they left off. But, you've lost probably most or not, if not all your clients by then. So.
I love it. One thing that I'm really impressed about from you guys is that you started this business at 26 years old, and you guys stayed so consistent. Because people, and we have to kind of give you your hand clap, because it's not easy to start a business no matter what age you are, but to be 26 and to be in a partnership and to be consistent and unified, now you guys are seeing the fruit of your labor. So, Mario, we're just going to clap for him real quick. Thank
you. I'm like,
it's not a little thing. It's not a little thing. It's a big deal. Yeah.
So what advice would you give to, both y'all? What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners, just in general?
What advice? Just, if you have a faith, honestly, as Monica and I have a strong faith, like make sure you stick to your faith. Think always positive, no matter what. Like there's going to be days where you want to cry. We cry all the time. Trust me. We sit and cry. Just don't give up, because trust me, at the next day, a new door opens up. It always happens. So just stay strong and always have somebody to talk to. Being an entrepreneur gets kind of lonely. Like I said, you just focus so much on business. So make sure you always have somebody to go out and talk to that isn't biased, or just somebody that you can like vent to, because that's a lot of things. That's what's going to happen. You're going to want to vent and just have somebody listen to everything that's happening every day. And not everybody's going to understand. Like people who have a 9-to-5 might not understand what you're going through, but just somebody that you can talk to. I definitely think that's a big thing. And get started. If you have been thinking about doing this idea or opening up your business, like don't wait for the right moment, because maybe cliche, but the right moment's not going to come. Like just get started. We jumped into it without even thinking about it. And I think we're very spontaneous in that sense, that we didn't even like think about it twice. Like she said, we didn't have a name, but it's paid off. It's been 4 years and we're just going uphill from here.
That's right. I love it.
It's so true. And if you're scared to get started, if I were you, I would go ahead and like pick a date and say, okay, like I cannot pass that date without getting started. Like we're huge into like, just get started, just do it. Cause there's people that we talk to all the time that like, I probably will talk to them tomorrow. And then 6 months down the line, they still haven't done it. Mm-hmm. And just like, okay, well, I don't know why you haven't started, but you need to.
Yeah. You know why? Because people are always looking for that, like everything, like you said, that perfect everything. Like, oh, my website, I got to fix 3 things on here, on my social. I'm waiting on my graphic artist to send me these 3 files. And then it just rolls and it rolls and it rolls. And sometimes you don't want a sloppy start, but just a start, and then you can fix as you go is more, you're going to get better results than just waiting for the perfect. So that was everything y'all said was right on point. There is no perfect moment. Just do it. Like Nike. Mario, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. You hit it right on the money. And I think, kind of recapping from our conversation is what resonates in my mind is the consistency. One thing being consistent. 2, kind of defining what your company is, have an idea and going after it. And then the other thing is excuses. Everyone has excuses, but the thing, you can't let your excuses prevent you from, getting to the next level. So those are my takeaways from the meeting. So I appreciate it. Aspire. I need to go start another business.
Oh my God, let us know if you need marketing.
I know, right? Plug. So, what's the most important lesson that both of you have learned as entrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs.
Right. Gosh, there are so many lessons. I don't even know what we talked about, like when we were going over things, but I think being open-minded, learning to just trust Maria, like she said, our faith. There was one time in our business that we freaked out and we were like, how are we going to pay, our girls next month, or how are we going to do this? And then I felt like an idiot for questioning that. We are we believe in God, and we have everything to thank because of him.
Me too.
And yeah, so like I think the most important lesson has been like, never question your faith, and always know that literally when one door closes, the other one will open. And being open-minded to change and learning, because being an entrepreneur, you're consistently learning, and your ego can get in the way of that. I know for me, definitely, I'm very strong-minded and very like stubborn at times, and I've learned to like sometimes just like let it go and just be like, okay, Monica, just breathe. Like it's gonna be fine. Like it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I think for me is definitely one is time management, learning how to manage your time wisely. I mean, you have to set your own schedule. Nobody's behind you trying to tell you you have to just do like, basically, if you don't know how to manage your time, your business can definitely fail because you're in charge of it. And then the other one, like Monica said, not being scared of failure. Every time that I feel like we're going to fail, because I think that I used to be super scared of failure. Like all my life, I've felt like I've never failed at anything. So that was one of my biggest fears. But then I realized, like, when people, the big entrepreneurs, big business owners have risen after failure. So every time that's something like that happens, I think if we were able to start this from scratch, if we were to even fail, I know that we can rise up right away. Like this, we're strong. We can definitely do it. We've done it once. We can do it again.
That's good.
And kind of picking that I appreciate it.
I love you for saying that.
And time management is actually been one of my weaknesses. What are some tools that you've used for time management? Is there some specific like programs or just a piece of paper or just a simple schedule on calendar?
I know that for me, like when it comes to like our clients and uploading things for them, finding systems that can help you automate things helps you with your time. When it comes to managing my time, definitely writing things down and crossing things off. That's so old school, but it really helps. And then putting it in my calendar. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to work on this for this hour, this for that hour. And sometimes we have to push it, but if I have it written somewhere, I'm like, okay, I need to get that done this week, so.
Yeah.
Deadline.
Putting everything in the calendar. We even put like when we have to work out, put it in the calendar to make sure it does happen. Like everything that, no matter, we get a call calendar or else you will forget because 20 other things will come up. So definitely having a calendar set aside.
Yeah.
I have a great app I want to share with everybody. It's actually a Chrome extension.
Uh-huh.
It's called Win the Day. And they've done all this this research that says that people should focus on getting 3 major things done a day. So what it is, it's a Chrome extension. Every time you open up a browser, it opens up into that window. And it gives you 3 things you can track out. You can set a big goal and you can say, it's going to take me 45 days to complete this goal. And each day it gives you 3 blocks that you could fill out. And every time you open up a new window, it's right in your face. So you remember and you cross it out each day. And it's free. So Win the Day. It's very helpful.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So check it out, y'all. So real quick, we're going to jump into Q&A real quick and see, I'm sure they have a couple of questions, but real quick, how can our listeners connect with you? What are your social media handles and all that information?
So definitely Roseberry Media on Instagram.
Awesome.
Yeah, everything is roseberrymedia.com. On Facebook, Roseberry Media. LinkedIn, Roseberry Media.
Awesome. All right, everybody, and that's Roseberry Media. So, of course, that's ROSEBERRY Media. all the handles, and then .com for the website. So,
Correct.
all right, let's jump into this Q&A real quick. Does anybody have any questions related to business, digital marketing strategy, anything, or just getting started?
I do. So, hello, Roseberry Media. I just wanted to go ahead and ask a question. I'm so glad that you guys have taken on a music artist, and I'm so glad to be here tonight because I'm also a music artist. So I tuned in, and my question for tonight is just how to maximize my reach for my ads with my Instagram stats in mind. So I live in my insight section, so I know who my demographic is, but more so just looking to see how to go about targeting them.
Okay. So you're running Instagram ads, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Are you currently using custom audiences?
So I just kind of tailor it according to who it says most of my viewers are coming from. So if it's mostly women, if it's mostly men, what age group and what area.
Okay. So I would recommend on the ad manager creating custom, every single type of custom audience. And if you don't really know what custom audience is creating audiences based on people who've watched certain videos, people who visited your website, if you have a website, people who are on your email list, people who've engaged with certain posts. So you can create so many different kind of custom audiences, and that way you're going to test out which audience works best. And from custom audiences, you can create something called lookalike audiences. So Facebook has this algorithm that takes, for example, if you have an email list, it'll take all that information and 5 people in the same demographic group as that email list and target them. So I would create lookalike audience for every single custom audience that you're doing. And that way you're reaching people that already know you, and then you're reaching new people who don't know you. And based on that is the creatives that you're going to create. Like the people that don't know you, you can do something broad, and then the people that do know you, hone it down to more of something personal so they can connect better with you.
Perfect. Thank you. Because what I've realized is I have a lot of engagement, but not a lot of follow-up. So I have a lot of people, a lot of eyes on it. I'll get a lot of views, but when you look at the insights of kind of the connections that I've made and the I guess the following that I've gained from the post in itself, there's not a lot of traction there. So I'll definitely try the targeted post.
Yeah, and I would look into what we usually look is like 6 months and behind. What are the posts that had the most likes to know what the content actual was, what attracted them. Then the posts that had the most comments to know what their caption attracted them. So in that way you can create new content that's based for them. You can create different captions and different pictures or videos compared to what people have liked the most.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right.
I came in a little late. I just want to get a little more background story. Like, where did y'all work initially before you started the company together? Because I missed that part, so I want to kind of catch up. I know it might be repetitive, but
That's fine.
No, it's okay. We worked at it was a real estate marketing company. So we helped real estate agents get leads so they could sell more homes.
awesome. And then I guess my follow-up question would be, are there any people that you follow or inspired by that are in the marketing world, and who are they? Any authors or any YouTubers or people in this space that you kind of mimic or follow or get inspired by?
Yeah, Maria mentioned having dinner with this person. His name is Gary V. He is amazing.
Oh, okay.
We're also very inspired by Mel Robbins. Her mindset is incredible, and she gives great practices. And one of those is like the 5-second rule. So you count from 5 to 1 backwards, kind of like when a rocket is launched. So you do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then it forces you to jump into whatever it is that you're about to do. So like, let's say like working out, for example, like I hate, like I love working out, but it's like the getting there part, right? So it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, I gotta go do this, or I gotta get up, wake up early. So Mel Robbins, definitely, at least, for me, she's awesome.
Somebody that has helped us a lot, they're called Traffic and Funnels, Chris and Taylor. They used to be an agency, now they do consulting for agencies. they've taught us a lot. We did some consulting with them back in the beginning of the year.
They're awesome.
Awesome.
What are their names again? I know you said Traffic and Funnels, but their name?
Chris and Taylor.
Chris and Taylor? Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. I mean, there's just so many gems and pieces of advice that I took. I know it's one of those things. I know, Jennifer, you brought it up. It's like, just do it. But yeah. I'm a classic case of that. So it was like,
that's what I was saying. Like, I love that. That was the thing that stood out. And I hope, did you also hear when she said set a date? Just set a date.
Yeah, set a date. Yeah. I put that in my notes. So just set a date and just be like, okay, this is it. So I got to come up with that date now. So hopefully I jot something down tonight.
It's really cool because they say that if you set goals, your mind will subconsciously do things for you to work towards those goals. So if you have a date, then you will subconsciously work towards that date, and you're like, oh, I know. It's kind of like this dress, for example. Like, I know if I set a date for when I'm going to fit into this dress, I'm going to do it. Just haven't set the date.
It's a cute dress.
It is. I look good in it.
I love it.
Oh, and I know you mentioned, okay, before I go, real quick. Oh, so you were referring to, like, when you were describing the lookalike audiences, et cetera. Now, are you referring to, like, Facebook Ad Manager? Were you able to do this stuff? Okay.
And Facebook Ad Manager controls Instagram ads as well. So control a lot more through there.
Okay, I haven't really, like, dabbled in that or have explored it, but I just heard some of the kind of terms, and I was like, okay, this sounds like Facebook Ad Manager. Okay. Thank you so much, ladies. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
I do have one more follow-up question if we have time. Okay, perfect. So this is in basically the realm of kind of what we were talking about. I just kind of wanted to ask, how important is it to be active on all social media? And then the second part of that question, all social media in maybe like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all of those different media platforms. And then also from the second part, I know we talked about consistency earlier on, but how can you be consistent without burnout? Because for me, my main problem is I could be super consistent for a while, and then I'm just kind of like, I need a break from social media. So how have you guys combated that? And for the first question, is it important to use all social media?
You want to take that? Or?
Yeah. So we definitely want you to be consistent, right? However, if you don't need to be on a social platform, don't be on it. If your audience isn't on it, there's no point of you doing that. We're huge on being on every platform because, Google's a funny thing, and the more, platforms you're on, they're going to like it, right? So then they can pull you up quicker. But I would say commit to one platform that you're going to be consistent with. And every single platform, there's so much. So like Instagram, for example, they're coming up with new features all the time. So even if you just committed to Instagram, right, and did that, and then what would help you with not burning out is scheduling things out in advance and creating a calendar where you can say, okay, this is going to be my content for the month, and this is what I'm doing with Instagram. And then utilizing a platform called Buffer. And actually on Buffer, you can schedule out all of your posts. And that way, you don't have to worry about, oh my God, did I post today? Did I post today? The only thing it's not going to actually post for you is like Instagram story. So I would say, create that content in advance and then schedule it out so you don't feel that pressure every single day. And once again, if your audience isn't on a certain platform, then don't do it. Not everyone's audience is on TikTok. Even though TikTok is awesome, and I, could be on TikTok for like 4 hours a day without being active. But not everyone's audience is going to be on TikTok or LinkedIn, per se.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for that. And you said the platform or the system is called Buffer.com?
Buffer. Yeah,
okay.
Like buffing a car or something. Buffer.
Okay.
I love Buffer. We use Buffer.
Girl, and it's so cool because it gives you like analytics that you can download, and it shows you like day by day, like how many people have started following you and things like that. That Instagram doesn't even do that for you. It'll just give you like an overall number, where Buffer is like super specific. So it's pretty cool.
My favorite thing on Buffer is first comment. so that if I want it, I can put all my hashtags.
All of them. Yeah.
But yes, shout out to Buffer.
Yes.
That was just free from all of us.
Yeah, one of our clients was like, we want all the posts to go out at 8 a.m. And so I remember like setting my alarm, like if I don't wake up before 8 a.m. Now I do, but before I'd be like, I have to post. And then Buffer, came into our lives and just changed everything for me. People need a little bit longer.
Oh, you guys, thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. This was some great information. Again, everybody, it's Roseberry Media on Instagram. It's roseberrymedia.com. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.